My name is Jacqueline Palacios, and I will be recording my screen in order to complete my final for English 1388. So we're supposed to pick 3 of the 7 questions that were given to us. And so I picked these 3 questions. I picked integrating secondary sources and writing with authority, which is the 3rd option, the 6th option, which is learning with your peers, and the 7th option, which is peer feedback processes. So in order to demonstrate the secondary sources and how I use them and how I was able to write with authority, I'm going to show you my craft sheets, which I don't know where they are. I don't know what that is. My craft sheets are right here. Let's go find them. I have my 3 craft sheets right here, and I have 3 sources for my article, for my essay. I found 3 articles which were very helpful to my essay, but they didn't quite complete the question which I was trying to find. My essay itself is this: motivation in reading for success. And so the question that I wrote is, why do college students, right here, let me highlight this, right here, why do college students in the Valley tend to refuse reading novels, books, or articles that are assigned for homework? So I chose this question because I think that reading is very important and I like reading a lot, but when I was assigned things for school, I really didn't like reading and I just didn't want to be reading, so I wanted to see if that happened in college as well. So that's my question, and I did some research and I found some articles that would help me support my evidence, but in the English class that I took, our sources would not support our evidence. They would not be evidence. They would be a stepping stone. Like, we would use the evidence in order to take us to our actual point, in order to help us prove a point. So my first source was this one called The Effect of Incentives on Cognitive Processing of Text. So this source was about putting incentives on yourself, or having motivations for reading, right? Either external or internal motivations for reading. And so this source I thought was very good, but it did not completely answer my question, which was in the Valley. And I'm asking why and not how to apply motivation on yourself like this source. So I use this source, and I also use this second source right here, which was this one: reading to learn or learning to read, engaging college students in course readings. This was about students having motivation to read, but it was about psychology students, I believe. So it focused around psychology students only, and so I wanted to focus on all students in the Valley, which was why I used this source in order to step off from here. I use this third source here, motivation in developmental and regular admission college students. So this is about students that are in high school and are taking college classes as they're in high school, and versus college students that go into college as freshmen with no credits. And so this was helpful to me to see that there is such a thing as having no motivation to read, but I wanted to, like I said, focus on students in the Valley reading assignments for homework. So I conducted my own research. I think throughout the first semester, I was writing my essay and I didn't really have this. I didn't really have this in my essay. I just had an essay, and I didn't really. This is my survey. These are my surveys that I did, but I didn't really have my own proof. And as the semester went on, we were able to. Bonnie taught us to do our own research, step off of these sources, and do our own research and make it relate to our question, which is this right here. So I think that this is how my writing changed a lot because of this English class. I think that before I would write, I would use sources as my proof. Like I would prove to people why I was right because of my secondary sources. But in this English class, we were able to use these sources right here as stepping stones or ways to give us more authority. Like we did the research. We know that there is other research out there, but it's not enough. So we have to go and do our own. That's the third option, my first question, which I answered. My second question, which I'm going to talk about, is learning with my peers. This semester, you asked us to work in teams, and we did so quite often. I am not a people person, I don't believe. I might be friendly and talk and whatnot, but I don't like working in groups because people are so unreliable and so difficult to work with, and most of the time I end up doing the projects on my own. So I decided to show the team the editor sign-up sheets. We did this twice, and I know that the first time that I signed up for the grammar team in editing the essays, and this was this semester. I love grammar and editing, and these people were kind of quiet, so it was easy to work with them. We kind of just figured out who was going to do what, and we were able to work from there. I think group works in this class were not as difficult as other classes because you didn't have to rely on somebody else in order to do your part. So, and then for the second round of editing the essays, I decided to choose this section. This one was a little bit more difficult, and on some of these we did have to rely on one another in order to do the next one and the next one. But these girls were easy to work with, and I liked their ability, their readiness to do whatever was needed. And so we also worked in groups for our magazine team, right here, magazine and website teams. And this is where we worked more group-wise. Like we might have had groups at other times in the year, in the semester, but this group was more group work. So with the website team, we had to work on the Integrity website. And so I worked with Victor, Samantha, Kush, Jacob, and Daniel, and I was kind of wary to work with Victor, but he was one of the ones that was the most helpful. He was the most ready to work. These people were not letting anything go slack. So I really enjoyed working as a group with these people, although I did not like working in the groups at the beginning of the semester, or maybe even in other classes. This class really helped me be able to open the door for working with other people. And so I'm going to talk about the seventh step, which is the peer feedback processes. This is the most important, I think, because I'm not used to getting feedback from other people. So I decided to give it a go. Throughout the semester, we had feedback from the students. For example, one of the times I got to class late and I had to get feedback from the whiteboard, like on a whiteboard. So I went up to the whiteboard and I wrote my question, and I wrote what I was going to be doing in order to complete that question. And I got help from the people in the class, and it was really helpful to me to see them actually give good advice and not just stare blankly at me. And so one of the examples I have here in my file is for the essay. My essay was read by Daniel Park, one of the many people that read my essay. And he wrote, I remember that it was Daniel. It doesn't say Daniel here, but I know it was him. And he wrote this summary of what my essay is, which is quite impressive because it's very accurate. My essay was quite long, so he went through it and read it and accurately summarized it. I think that throughout the semester we all worked in a groups together. Sorry about those notifications. These surveys and these questions were brought up by working in groups. And as a class, we edited these essays and we went through these essays piece by piece, and the grammar was corrected and all of these things. And we did that to each other's. I did that to other people's. Other people did that to mine. And I think that that's really cool. And I liked receiving feedback from other students. Most of the time, let me click on my essay again. Most of the time, we would put comments on each other's essays, which were really helpful. For example, here I have Bonnie's comments, other comments from other students, Janae, myself. And then here I would ask for help. And other people, Evelyn here went and told me what I should do. Here I asked for help again, and Evelyn once again came and gave me specific help. Here, once again, I ask for help, and Evelyn goes and rescues me. Ask for help, Evelyn again. Several times I ask for help, and Evelyn responds, which is what we did most of the class period, most of the class time. We worked together this way. We were able to comment. I liked this style of working. We didn't really have to exchange papers or anything. We just worked on our own computers on other people's essays. I like that we all had access to everybody's folders here. And this was really helpful to get accurate feedback from our peers. And because they were expecting feedback from us or other people, they would give good feedback to us. So I think that that's really good. And these are the 3 questions that I was going to be talking about for my final. And I hope that I answered them appropriately and fully. But this is the best that I can do while recording on my screen, because for me, the easier way is to have pieces of paper and draw and move things around. So this is my final for English 1388, and I'm so excited that it's over, but I'm also quite sad because it was a fun class. So thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for watching my video, and I hope that it fulfills all of the requirements. This was Jacqueline Palacios, and thank you so much for your time. Goodbye.